Hi everyone, today we are doing advanced tables. Here I am using exercise 5.2 as an example of everything, because exercise 5.2 got almost everything that we need to do in Microsoft Word, including the decimal tabs and then the footnotes. But your exercise is the start here on model 1, and then you have model 2 where you have the table and landscape, and then the borders that have been removed. But for now I'm going to do everything in exercise 5.2. Okay, firstly I want us to start with the footnote. You open Microsoft Word document. Make sure you are typing in single line spacing, and then you check before you type. You check the layout of the page. If the page is in portrait or landscape, you check according to your exercise, and then you change the orientation. According to 5.2, you have a footnote there of the numbers. I'm going to start the footnote of the numbers, and then I'm going to show you how to do then the footnote of the symbols. Firstly, you check where your footnote lies. For example, in this exercise, the footnote, it is next to X, just next to X. You don't leave the space open, so you click where your footnote is. You do not focus here at the bottom of it. Here this is where we are going to have the outcomes, but we check from here in the content, where are those symbols, where are those numbers. Then we click there in order for us to have the output here at the bottom. Okay, for example, now from this one we are going to click here. We click where the footnote is, and then we go to references. When we go to references, you'll see the first one is a table of content, the second one is footnotes, and then we have the endnotes, next footnotes, and then we have insert footnotes. We don't do that. We go here because we need to set it for ourselves. We click the down arrow, and then we are going to have something like this. From the word go, make sure the footnote is the one that is active, and then it is always below the text. Let me move closer. Below text. And then here, if your footnote is 1, 2, 3, make sure it is 1, 2, 3 like this. Start at 1 and then continuous from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then insert. Immediately when you insert, make sure you have activated the show and hide, so that you'll be able to see everything. This is show and hide. Activate that. Okay, then this is where now you start. You could see here at the bottom of the table, you have now the sentences that you are going. Immediately when you have that small one over there, then you are typing this sentence. In this case, you are going to type it because they say stat, so you are going to leave it as it is. You are going to type it. And the footnote sentences, they come with lower font, so you are going to follow the manuscript signs. Should they give you the different size for the font, then you do it. If they did not, you leave it like that. But as you start typing, you could see that the footnote does not start with the uppercase like in the normal sentence where you start like the wholesale in the content. In the footnote, make sure when you start the sentence, you start with the uppercase, so that you have the first alphabet there is in uppercase. The sentence is always start with the uppercase. That's how we do the footnotes. And then you don't enter to insert number 2. If you have number 2 in your footnotes the other sentence, you check where number 2 is in the content. If number 2 is next to N, you click there. And then where do we go? We go to references. We go to references. We go to footnotes, the down arrow, and then we check footnotes below text 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, start at 1, insert. We remember we are now continuing, insert. Immediately when you insert, you have told the computer that the numbers should go continuously. So now immediately when you click there and then insert the second one, you will have number 2 automatic. And then we start the sentence with the uppercase and then you continue typing. Let's go until number 3. Let's say number 3 footnote, it is there. You click wherever the small 3 is, and then you go to references, you go to footnotes, the down arrow, and then you check everything, it is below text and then continuous, and then you just insert. You are going to have number 3. You start the sentence with the uppercase. There's something wrong I did, I'm sure. Yeah, insert, I've cancelled it. You start with the sentence with the uppercase and then you type. Here we go. Okay, in the case where you have symbols as your footnotes, you do the very same thing by clicking the reference. You're now using the symbol. Most of the time they use that small star over there. The footnote, it is always below text. Now in this case we don't want numbers, but we are not going to use this one because we need to go select the symbol, the required symbol under the symbols. So when we get to here, we click symbol, and then immediately when you click on symbol, you are going to see there's a star there, and then you click on it and then you say okay. You have 1 star, you have 1 star, you say okay again, so you have a star. We start the sentence with uppercase, and then we're gonna go until number 3 again. We have the second one. For the second one, we go to footnotes. Again, we go to symbol. We click for the first time. We say okay. We go to symbol again for the second. Remember, there's now 2 stars because it is number 2. And then you say okay. And then you say okay. You see, you're going to have 2 stars, and then here you're going to have it here 2, and then at the bottom they give you a space to type the sentence. These 2 stars refer to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go to number 3. You want 3 stars now. We go to reference, footnotes, the down arrow. Below text, it is fine. Symbols, we're going to select it for 3 times now. Click. Okay. Symbols, you click, you say again. You see here, there are 2 already. Symbols, you click. Okay. Now there are 3, and then you insert. Now you are going to have it. Here there are 3, and then there at the bottom they give you a space to type your sentence. These 3 stars, they refer to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that as far as symbols, as far as footnotes is concerned. So now let's quickly do the decimal tabs. In Microsoft Excel, when we do tables, in an instance where you have numbers, we always right align the numbers. As you could see here, we have right aligned all this, yes, but now we don't right align the numbers that has that we are going to activate them, that we are going to activate the decimal tabs on. We leave them on the left hand side and then we activate the decimal tabs. Decimal tabs means that the tabs, those dots, dots, they are going to be aligned. I want us to delete at least 1 here. yeah, so that they move from side to side, so that you're going to see the difference, because here they seem to be aligned already. I want us to delete one. So now you see here the dots are not now aligned. This one is here, this one is here, this one is here, this one is here. So now decimal tabs, they help you see, or they help you align the dots, the tabs. They help you align the tabs. I'm just going to delete here so that it is going to make it easy for us. You have them on the left hand side typed like this. You don't right align them, but you right align every numbers that you have in Microsoft Word, except in the case where you need to do decimal tabs. Now we highlight. We are doing decimal tabs. All the numbers are on the left hand side, and then we go here. You check your ruler. Your ruler should be active on your left hand side. I'm not sure if you're going to see it. I'm going to try and zoom it in. On the left hand side, you see when you move your cursor, it is left tab. When you left click and then go back again on top of it, center tab. You click again, you go on top of it, it is a right tab. You click on top of it, left click, you go on it again, you move your cursor on top of it, decimal tabs. So you are going to click here until you see the one that has a dot. There's a dot. It is a bit black. Come. I'm using my phone, guys, so sometimes it just becomes black. Yeah, here we have it. Sorry. Yeah, until you have a dot like this. When you move a mouse on top of it, it's gonna write it for you. Decimal tabs. Yes. Firstly, you highlight and then you click there until you see decimal tabs. Now we are here. You could see here you have already highlighted, and then immediately when you highlight the ruler, it is going to divide according to the columns, isn't it? So you see the numbers, the columns are divided according to the numbers, even here in the ruler. So now what are we going to do? For this one, let's start with the first one. Let's highlight the first one. Let's do them one by one. For this one, we want to set the decimal tabs all. That means we want to put our dots aligned underneath number 3. We just make it click here. So we highlight and then we go there in the ruler, and then we say our tabs, we want to set it there. For this row, we want to set it there, number 8. Yeah. So now I want you to see the difference. All the tabs are now underneath one another. But before, they were in a sequence like this. This one was here, this one was there, this one was there. Let's do this one now again. We highlight, and then we go there in our column. Remember, this column falls under these numbers going down. So now, for example, let's click anywhere between 11 and 10. Left click on it. Immediately when you left click, the tabs are going to move one underneath one another. That's what we call decimal tabs. What else we need to touch on? In a case where you have, what is this now? Yes, you have your tables. You have your tables like this. For example, they give you an instruction. Insert, type the following table in landscape on an A4 with auto fit to content behavior. Okay, that one you get it from here. We forgot to mention that. When you go to insert and then you insert your table, you are going to count. We're going to insert table, and then we're going to count the rows. Let's say, for example, you have number of rows, number of columns. This is where you select all those things. Should it be fixed column with auto fit to content, and then auto fit to window. That's where you check all those things. And then in an instance where you already have the table on, you did not select all those auto fit, and you just click inside the table, and then you'll see there's a star there. You click on it, and then you right click on it, and then you go to auto fit, and then you change it here. Should it be fixed column, auto fit to window, auto fit to content. All right, now we have the other one. Sometimes they will say create the table in, sometimes when you get something like this, type the following table in portrait in an A4 paper, auto fit to content. Excel, when we have something like this, Excel spreadsheet, then that means you are going to create it in Excel. It's either you're going to create it straight in Excel, or and then calculate the total over there, or you are going to create it in Microsoft Word. How are we going to create it in Microsoft Word? We go to insert. You can create an Excel. You can create an Excel spreadsheet in what? In Word. You go to table, down arrow, and then you go to Excel. And then you create it as it is. You type whatever you need to type in there. And then when you need to do the totals, you already have the option there active, the auto sum. You sum up everything in there, and then once you are done, you can just click outside, just outside your spreadsheet, just outside, and then you will have your table in Microsoft Word. But you need to make sure every time when you want to click inside the table, you just double click, and then you just highlight. In a case where you need to activate the borders, you will be now in Excel, né? And then you just activate the correct borders. Or you type Microsoft Excel, you type everything in Microsoft Excel, and then you copy your table. Just right click, copy, and then you paste it in Microsoft Word. And then you paste it in Microsoft Word, and then from here, then you can right click on it, and then you change it, the auto fit according to the given instructions. And then you insert your header and footer. Then I think that's everything. That's everything. Okay, like, yeah, they say you also print Excel, the one that you created in Excel, the one that you have copied. You print formulas in Excel. So you are going to show formulas and print how did you get to the total sum of everything. And then you also print Word. Word, I think, is the one that you already, is the one that has the this instruction, auto fit to content. Let's play again. Auto fit content behavior. Yes, that's as far as advanced tables, footnotes is concerned. Thank you.